life and perspective on these Sega games. And there is no Sega game, whether it's bad or good, he will tackle. He's gonna break the fourth wall, but 10 times as funnier than most video game critic. He will conquer that series or game that needs more attention, detail, and explanation that he can explain. That's his game of favorite of all time. He will tackle any obstacle that gets in his way. He's willing to travel across dimension, whether it's first party or third party, as long as it's not time travel. He's gonna blast through Green Hills, Fantasy Zone, and Arcadia, and even Dr. Kieran's Mansion. Whether you can make it alive, dead or alive, he's still going to survive and plow through that bullshit. He's going to defeat the greatest villains from Sega history and become a more badass than the nostalgic critic, AVGM, and Sega Vids, whether they praise him or not. He has all the knowledge that he will give new ideas to the Sega developers. Been over lazy these years. He is the Sega Critic. Let's do this.
Greetings, Sega. You have been summoned to pursue a legendary Sega quest to not only show yourself that you're worthy enough to be the best video game critic ever, but worthy enough to be the best Sega fan ever of all existence, and you will have a special reward at the end.
Oh, are you talking about is my time to become the next Sega president?
No, not that Sega president. It's even more better than that.
Oh, okay then. So what's my next obligation towards being the next Sega Guardian?
You must revive and discuss about a console that has been outdated from the late 20th century.
You want me to bring back a console from the dead? Okay then. Let's see. Well, there is a Sega Dreamcast, and that thing has been gone since the past 21 years.
No, more obscure than that has been dead since the mid-90s.
Okay, you don't want me to bring that console back. What about the Sega Saturn? You want me to vouch for the Sega Saturn?
Getting close, but not even that close. It came out during the heyday of the Sega Genesis.
Okay, so what's my purpose of being the Sega Guardian? I mean, after all, you do have an old crustacean pirate with one mechanical eye and a binary arm trying to take care of some experimental well who was victim from various scientists that the Imperial Armada, that the Blue Imperial Armada paid them for. Plus, not only that, you got that Raticatna.
You must revive Sega CD and discuss about all its glory, typos, and trophies.
Oh, the Sega CD, you say? Okay then, so let's go!
Don't go far behind. Say don't be late. This nation heaven. Stay alive. Now you and me. We're going to have fun. Say, let's go. Excalibur.
Oh!
To conquer time. To the solid border, deep is space time. To the solid border, weather in mind. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If you try, you can do anything. To the solid border, always takes a chance. To the solid border, never second hand. Nothing can stop the way to stay alive. If you try, you can do anything.
Come on, Amy, we don't have all day. Hello everybody, I'm the Sega Critic, and today we are going to review a console that's even more obscure and underrated than the Sega Saturn itself. What is that console I'm talking about? I'm talking about today is the Sega CD.
The Sega CD, I know what you are thinking. What? You actually like the Sega CD? Yes, I'm one of those nutcases who likes the console. Or the AVGN and Gunstar Hero 77 did make their thoughts on the Sega CD, both positively and negatively, on the confounded system, but I wanted to bring my own 2 cents and opinions on the console. I am doing a Sega CD retrospective and not another high regard consoles such as the Sega Dreamcast. Well, the Sega Dreamcast's 20th anniversary did pass. I did not have enough time to write the script or gather footage. So if you wanted to know how I celebrate the Sega Dreamcast 20th anniversary, I posted a bunch of commercials, fan art, and magazines ads on my Tumblr page. Plus there will always be next year to prepare myself for the 21st anniversary. Mega CD, or Sega CD for my North Americans, was released in Japan in December 12, 1991, and in North America in October 12, 1992 for that following year. The Sega CD was supposed to compete with the lives of the TurboGrafx CD and PC game consoles such as the DOS, the Mac, and the Amiga 32 CD in the early to mid 90s. Also, the Sega CD is supposed to show off full motion videos and cartoon-like anime cutscenes that was unheard of for the time for home consoles. The CD add-on also has a 84 kilobyte sound processor for high quality stereo sound. Later used virtual sound, which was used for many Capcom arcade titles, which would borrow for a surround sound audio for late releases to push the console sound quality that to be compared with the SNES was doing during the time for 16-bit games. My only gripe about the Sega CD is that Mode 7 and 3D scaling that was doing for the console. What was the point if the SNES could do it the year before the Sega CD, like launch titles like F-Zero and Pilot Wings, and met the others that was doing during the time of the Sega CD's 3D lifespan? And Sega and other third-party developers didn't give the Mode 7 a chance, except for a few select titles. Advertising back in the day, in the 90s, was very badass at the time, despite the console not being as memorable like the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis and the Sega Dreamcast. Or the common writer himself, Sega Sashio, did for the Sega Saturn. There was also other hard asses on the TV to pester you to buy a Sega console, as well as getting a Sega 32X in 1995. And it was a 90s rapper named Chill EB. He would stop someone from playing an SNES and show clips from all the Sega CD games and make you buy the CD add-on that was more powerful than any other console, and it could equally beat the PC market in North America.
Hey! You still don't have a Sega CD? What are you waiting for? Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show 'em! Wanna see more?
In the UK, would make a new TV channel advertisement called Sega Pirate TV, which had UK actor Stephen O'Donnell showcasing the games and various live action skits parrying those games at the time.
It's Megan, start of a new Sega game. Megan, what's it like to be a Mega CD star?
Real tough. You try dying 2,000 times a day.
When it comes to the library of games itself, it could be hit and miss. But hey, that didn't stop Sega to get more developers and companies to work on the console itself. Digital Pictures comes to mind. Tom Zeno, who is the founder as well as the division of DP Studios like Stargate Productions and Cold Monkey, wanted to have an interactive full motion video experience that combines filmmaking, video games. There was only one problem. You could only get these type of experiences in the arcade and in old school PCs. The NES, Genesis, and SNES wasn't capable enough because of its cartridge limitation. Some games like Ninja Gaiden did do this very well, but others has failed on that remark. But he was approached by Sega for the very first deal that he struck, a 5-year contract to make these type of games. These publishers mostly in mind with Sony and Sega themselves. I am not going to do an in detail documentary. You could click on the link on the description to find out more development history on Digital Pictures. But all you need to know is that when it came to the Saturn era, Digital Pictures had a hard time finding publishing rights, especially if stick them in the mud with disagreements in Sega and Nintendo, with Sega and Nintendo doing a console collab deal in the mid-90s. So how about the games themselves? Well, the games are mostly hit and miss for the most part. Some games like Bug Exterminator, Star Strike, Surgical Strike, Midnight Raiders, Tomcat Alley, and Wirehead are some DP games I have enjoyed, while others like Marky Mark music video series, Kid on Psych, and the 2 fighting games, Prize Boxer and Supreme Warrior, and other F&B games, just boring and frustrating. But as a whole, I do get a guilty pleasure of these games such as Night Trap and Double Switch. These games are not my favorite of all time, but as long as they're original, you can at least have a good time. Just stay away from Power Rangers and Kamen Rider Zeo. That's why I prefer video game developers to at least take advantage of the console when porting FMV arcade titles and original IPs for the system, like Teen Wolf, which were a fracture of title developers who were making kick-ass FMV games from the arcades. I could take these games fun and serious play in depth to play, like Time Girl, Road Avenger, and Cobra Command. Not only these games had amazing anime like cutscenes, which was unheard of for us North Americans, but it still had engaging gameplay, and there was still fun to be had even up to this day. Other games like Dinosaurs and Cadillacs were fun too for our on-rails shooting experience. In some cases, it's better than Sewer Shark, despite the Capcom beat 'em up being more superior. Speaking of Capcom, we got the best near perfect port of Final Fight. With that port, it added cutscenes, voice acting, 2-player action, coming back with Guy being a playable character in the roster, unlike other home console versions of the games, and uncensored parts, like Poison being an enemy again, was fixed in this version, with 2 new original levels to boot. I wish there was more Capcom properties like Street Fighter and the like, but what we got was still passable. Speaking of fighting games, we got the best version of Turtle Champions on Sega CD, and Turtle Champions The Dark Side, and more enhanced fighting game ports from SNK like Fatal Fury 2 and Samurai Showdown, which was equally as good as the Neo Geo version. The Sega CD also had a buttload of shooters like Ship Hell, Android Assault, Robo-Less, Soul Feast, and of course, KO's Flying Squadron, to name a few. Afterburner 3, not nowhere as good as 2, was still a game. It was still badass in its own right. When it comes to other third-party developers on this console, core design, yes, folks, the people who made Tomb Raider and divided to form Crystal Dynamics, Series developers, to how the Sega CD worked and its audio and visual programming for the Chuck Rocks games in the early to mid 90s. But they did have some original games like Jaguar, XJ220, Thunderstrike, Soulstar, and Underdog. The adventure and cinematic platforming genre was equally as good on this console as it was on PC, like Out of This World Parts 1 and 2, Flashback, Space Cobra Adventure, Panic, and a highly acclaimed Snatch. Also, we got the best port of Earthworm Jim. Also, the Sega CD had some RPGs that meet the standards as the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis lines of games like Shining Force CD and Darkness, plus the best developer who made all these other great RPGs and other games of types and genres was, of course, Working Design, who have been making these games for Sega's consoles beyond to the Saturn, with the likes of Lunar 1 and 2, which gets so many remakes and ports during the later console lifespan, but the Sega CD version is still the best version, and plus Pop for Mail, which during the time when Pop for Mail came out, so many developers was trying to figure out how to localize the game at one point, but then Sega let them release the game in stateside of 1995. Also, let's not forget the top-selling Sega CD games like Echo the Dolphin and Sonic CD.
Yeah, sure. I know, I forgot to mention other games that were on the console, like Mansion of Hidden Souls, Hoops, and some of the good licensed and TV show games like some of the Batman games that were developed by Clockwork Tortoise, and of course the second best Terminator game that was made by Virgin Games. But I got my points cleared up. Bottom line, please don't attack this console like a certain YouTuber on YouTube. Give the Sega CD a chance. It does have some great games. Yeah, there are some games that are just crap, and some licensed games that were better on other consoles, and some PC games that are better on other consoles. But you know, there were a couple of hidden gems as well too, that makes it worthwhile, of course. And hey, and yeah, I know the Sega CD games are usually priced at a high amount of money on eBay and on different sites, but you could go on SE.com and buy some of the bootleg copies. And the good thing about it is that your Sega CD could play it. So before the days of the Saturn and Sega Saturn and PlayStation, it didn't have no security chip in it. You just pop in any burnt game and play it. Or you can just easily emulate the game on Kega Fusion or Gen 32, as long as you find the BIOS for those games. But hey, we can all agree it's better than the Sega 32X. However, though, there's this one Sega CD game that shall not be named. It's so infamous that it has serious dank memes on the dark side of the web.
Well guys, that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button and subscribe. And hit that little bell icon if you want to see more of me, the Sega Critic. Also, donate to my Patreon. It's only $1 if you want to get a mention and thank you throughout the video when it officially comes out on YouTube. And $5 if you want early access to it.